Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, Zepbound. Whatever brand name you use, GLP-1 receptor agonists have taken over the world of metabolic health. For years, getting the benefits of these treatments meant dealing with weekly sub-Q injections, fighting prescription shortages, and relying on expensive hardware. Now, the format is shifting to a daily oral tablet. Moving from a clinical injection to a small pill you take with your morning coffee changes the scale of who can access this treatment, moving the therapy from a specialized medical procedure to a standard part of daily health management. For 99.9% of human existence, calories were scarce and unpredictable. To survive those conditions, natural selection favored bodies that held on to every single calorie of adipose fat with extreme efficiency. When your body fat drops, a hormone called leptin plummets, and your hunger hormone, ghrelin, surges. Your brain interprets a standard diet as literal starvation, lowering your basal metabolic rate and driving compulsive cravings for dense carbohydrates. Then, in less than a century, we dropped these ancient survival machines into an environment overflowing with hyper-palatable, ultra-processed foods. These modern products are chemically engineered to bypass our exact satiety signals. The modern obesity crisis is an evolutionary mismatch. Human biology is reacting exactly as it evolved to, which means treating it requires a biological override rather than a reliance on human discipline. In 1992, endocrinologist Dr. John Eng was studying the Gila monster, a venomous desert lizard. It survives by eating massive meals only a few times a year, yet it keeps its blood glucose perfectly stable. Humans secrete GLP-1 to signal fullness, but the internal enzyme DPP-4 destroys it in 2 minutes. Dr. Eng found a peptide in the lizard's venom, exendin-4. It shares 53% of human GLP-1 structure, but completely resists DPP-4 breakdown in the bloodstream. This accidental discovery from desert venom proved human metabolic baselines could be durably hacked, laying the foundation for modern anti-obesity medications on the market today. GLP-1 therapies suppress weight across 3 distinct physiological pillars. First is the stomach break. The drug slows down smooth muscle contractions, meaning food stays in your stomach for hours longer, keeping physical stretch receptors active and constantly signaling fullness. Second is glucose-dependent signaling in the pancreas. It stimulates insulin release only when your blood glucose is elevated, preventing the sugar crashes and mid-afternoon energy slumps caused by older diabetes medications. Finally, GLP-1 receptors are dense in the mesolimbic dopamine pathway. The drug directly dampens the compulsive reward anticipation associated with eating ultra-processed junk food. By simultaneously targeting the gut, the pancreas, and the brain, this chemical override silences the physiological and mental obsession to constantly eat. Altering human metabolic signaling at this scale introduces real physiological trade-offs. Delayed gastric emptying frequently causes nausea, vomiting, and acid reflux, leading roughly 5 to 10% of users to abandon the treatment entirely. Without adequate protein and resistance training, up to 40% of weight lost on GLP-1s comes from lean skeletal muscle. Furthermore, when patients stop the drug, gastric transit returns to baseline, and trials show users regain 2/3 of their lost weight within 1 year. Because obesity is a chronic metabolic condition, maintaining this biological override requires lifelong management rather than a temporary chemical fix. So why did GLP-1 therapies start as injections in the first place? Peptides are fragile chains of amino acids that get rapidly destroyed by stomach acid and digestive enzymes when taken orally. The next generation of anti-obesity drugs relies on non-peptide small molecules, engineered as durable synthetic structures rather than fragile amino acids. These molecules survive highly corrosive stomach acid entirely intact. This shift introduces massive manufacturing advantages. Small molecule pills do not require sterile cold chain storage or expensive auto-injector hardware. They can be produced in standard manufacturing facilities by the billions. Moving from complex sterile injections to standard pill manufacturing makes treating obesity on a global scale finally feasible. The clinical data shows systemic benefits extending well beyond weight loss. Major trials demonstrate a roughly 20% reduction in major adverse cardiovascular events, including heart attacks and strokes. This modulation of the brain's reward circuitry also shows up in other behaviors. Clinical data indicates these medications reduce neurological cravings for alcohol, nicotine, and compulsive shopping. These pills cannot replace the biological necessity of exercise and nutrient-dense food, but they do offer a tool to regulate metabolic signals that, for most of human history, were beyond our direct control. Drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy revolutionized weight loss, but they are actually just version 1.0. A new generation of medicine is coming, and it promises 3 massive upgrades. First up, combining multiple hormones into a single dose. Instead of just making you feel full, these experimental drugs actively force your body to burn more calories. This pushes weight loss to nearly 30% of body weight, achieving results once thought possible only with gastric bypass surgeries. Next, replacing the weekly needle with a simple daily pill. Pharmaceutical companies are figuring out how to make these complex proteins survive the harsh acid inside your stomach. Cracking this delivery code turns obesity treatment from a specialized medical escalation into a routine daily habit, drastically expanding global access. And finally, these drugs are unexpectedly curing a massive range of secondary diseases. They are drastically cutting sleep apnea episodes, clearing dangerous fat from the liver, and slashing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. This proves they treat the whole body, not just the waistline. The next era of these drugs isn't just about getting thinner. It is about treating obesity as a systemic chronic disease using a highly effective, routine daily pill. Next, Alzheimer's research has finally cracked the code by radically shifting its focus. Instead of just targeting amyloid plaques, pipelines have pivoted to actively attack brain inflammation and tau proteins. This pivot turns a historically untreatable disease into one where cognitive decline can finally be slowed. Third, artificial intelligence has moved beyond simply analyzing existing data. Generative models are now creating proteins that have never existed in nature, designing what are called de novo antibodies. By designing from scratch, computers are inventing cures for previously undruggable diseases in a fraction of the time. And finally, gene editing's biggest leap isn't the edit itself, but the delivery. By packaging therapies inside microscopic fat bubbles called lipid nanoparticles, we can safely transport CRISPR cures. Solving this delivery problem moves gene editing from niche lab experiments to widespread commercial treatments. Together, these breakthroughs mean we are crossing the threshold from simply managing chronic diseases to actively engineering their cures.